So have you ever been outsourcing and you find some Nike products and you're like, man, this is so profitable. Ah, crap, I'm gated. And then you go home later that day and you check your favorite content creator guru person out there and you see if they have some kind of ungating guide for Nike. And you find it, but it's going to cost you a couple hundred or thousands of dollars. Okay, that's stupid, right? We all agree here? Great. Okay, now that we're on the same page, let me show you how to get ungated to Nike here on YouTube. And all it's going to cost you is the high price of a like and a subscription. I can charge that, right? Yeah? Okay. May I present to you the ultimate Nike ungating guide, something or other, some catchy YouTube beat title. Let's dive into it. Now, before I show you how to get ungated, I need to show you Amazon's page for all of the ungating requirements. And we need to talk about that so that you understand what Amazon is actually looking for and what they are expecting of you. So this is what your screen will look like when you are requesting permission to sell something on Amazon. The example I'm showing you is Pyrex, but this would be taken for Nike as well. So they want one of two things. They either want you to give them one purchase invoice for the product, or they want you to send them a letter from the brand itself authorizing you to sell it. This second one is not ever going to happen, so don't bother trying to get that. This invoice is what we're going to do. Now, your invoice needs to have a few qualifications. It needs to be within 180 days. It must include your name and address. Everything has to match. That's really important. All right, the name and address of your distributor needs to be on there. You need to have 10 units. You can omit the pricing. There's not really any need to. And then you drag and drop that there and click submit. Okay? Now, part of the reason why I wanted to sort of ungatekeep this subject was that in the past year or so on Amazon, Amazon's gotten really lax with some of their ungating requirements, for better or for worse. And a lot of people have been doing things that are sort of in a gray area. They've been able to use receipts. They've made fake invoices. They've done all these other things that sort of work, and sometimes Amazon will let that slide. But just in case Amazon comes back next year, because, I mean, we never know. This is Amazon's sandbox. They always are changing the rules on this. Maybe they come back next year and say all of the people who used these other methods that were not approved to begin with are now re-restricted, or maybe even worse, now your account health is in trouble. I wanted to sort of shed light on the correct way of doing this because it's so frequently done the wrong ways. So let me show you the correct way to do this so that you don't accidentally put your account at risk by doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing. What I'm going to show you in this video is by no means the only way to get ungated. If you would prefer to pay your favorite content creator out there a couple $100s to tell you a different website, by all means, you have the freedom to choose that. There are many different wholesale sites and distributor sites and things like that, and methods that can work. This is one way. It will work for you. But if you want to do another way, you are more than welcome to. This is not like the only or the best way, anything like that. This is just a way that works, and I'm showing it to you guys. I also need to mention that sites and items can change. I've shown some things like this in the past. People would always email me, hey, this changed, why can't you update this? But it's not the specific item. The specific item doesn't matter. So don't look at this and think, oh, like Nate is lying to us. This doesn't work anymore if you're watching this a year later. Look at what I'm saying and do what I'm saying. You don't need to look at the specific item. Sites will change, items will change. I'm giving you something that will work now and the framework that will continue to work in the future. The key here is to understand that Amazon is always changing and the marketplace is always changing. And so we need to be flexible and pivot when our business requires it. Once you've got this down, you'll be able to take this concept and use it for many other brands and many other websites that are out there to get ungated in pretty much anything that you want, because it's really not a difficult process and it shouldn't be paywalled behind hundreds or thousands of dollars. I also need to say, please don't be an asshole here, guys. Don't go order something from one of these websites. You order your 10 units, and then as soon as you get your invoice, you return those products. That is horrible. It's a horrible business practice. It's, I would borderline say it's a little bit immoral. You're making that company pay for you to get ungated. That's not fair to them. Those products are now wasted. Many of these products you can get at a break even or even make $1 or $2. So there's no need to do all of that. It ruins relationships with your websites. Maybe you're blacklisted from some of these sites that could have been profitable. Maybe these sites stop accepting Amazon sellers. Maybe these brands stop being carried by websites. I've seen that happen many times, especially with things like Starbucks and Legos and things like that, where people would always go to the exact same site, order the exact same thing, and then return it. Well, now those sites no longer carry Starbucks and Legos and things like that because so many people did that. So please don't do that. Treat this business like a business, and this business will treat you like you mean business. Hallelujah. Now, for the clickbait moment we have all been waiting for, the actual website that we're going to be using. It is over here. It is called ASOS or ASOS. Let's dive in. ASOS is a fairly normal website for normal customer shopping. I mean, they've got sales and everything as well. The unique part about them is that if you request it, you can talk to their customer support and request a commercial invoice for your business, okay? You will need to make sure that all of your information lines up, but I'm gonna show you how to do that. Let's dive in. So as I was just saying, you can see here on the ASOS website, they have many different brands. It's not just Nike. I'm going to be showing you guys Nike, but they've got Nike, Adidas, North Face, New Balance, Tommy Hilfiger, and lots of others all here on their website. Now, the interesting part about them, again, it's that they will let you get an invoice for your order. So if you need a commercial invoice, just get in touch with their customer care team. Remember to include your order number so that they know which items need an invoice, okay? And they can only send you your invoice once your items have actually been shipped, okay? So once all of that happens, you can go ahead and request that invoice. Now, you will need to join them. You need to make sure, this is important, you need to make sure that all of your information matches your Amazon stuff. Even little things like your address has to match perfectly. And when I say perfectly, I mean, if you live on 123 Main Street, don't put 123 Main with a period. Okay, that's gonna get flagged by Amazon. Those small differences are gonna get automatically flagged by their bot, and then they'll have to have a human come and verify things. The less human verification you can do, the better, so make sure everything is a perfect match, okay? Now, let me show you some products that will work for getting ungated in Nike as of today. All right, now that we have our account, we're just gonna have to go find a product that we are gated in. So we can look over here in Nike. Now, usually when you are looking for a product, you are looking for something very cheap because again, we're just buying 10 units. We're just trying to get ungated. Once you find their cheap stuff, then you have to go and find something that actually exists on Amazon. I've gone ahead and done that for us. So I found this, these like 3 red striped Nike socks, and boom, here's the 3 red striped Nike socks on Amazon. And this should be restricted for you if you are restricted in Nike. And I actually lied earlier. I said that this video would be free. I'm actually, if you're buying these for $13.50 and then selling them for $23, you're actually gonna make 50 cents for each pair. So 10 pairs means you're gonna make $5 by listening to my advice instead of going and buying your own guide to get ungated in Nike. So we've got our product here. It's a break even or a little bit more than that. So we're happy with that. It's small, it's light. We order 10 units of this. As soon as they ship it, then we go back to their website and request that invoice. Once we have our invoice, we are going to pass that along to Amazon. They will unrestrict you, and now bada bing, bada boom, you are unrestricted in Nike. All right. So it's fairly simple, guys. It's a straightforward process. You can use this same technique for anything. You can use the same website for all sorts of things. Any of these other brands over here. But this concept holds true. If you want to get ungated in anything, you just find some sort of wholesale distributor or someone who can give you a legitimate invoice with all of your business information that is on it and order 10 units. Okay. Now, I want to also remind you guys that for the rest of summer, we are going to be doing something called Sourcing Camp. Sourcing Camp is where a bunch of us sellers are all going to get together virtually, and we're all going to source together in real time. So we're going to talk about some different sourcing strategies, some different ways of finding products. Most of this is going to be done via online arbitrage since it's all virtual. But we're going to be talking over some different methods and finding stuff live together. So it's sort of almost like a little BOLO list that we're creating together, or a lead list that we create together. And so you guys will have those products that you can sell for yourselves on your own accounts as we find them in our sourcing camp. So I'm going to drop a link down in the description below. Make sure to check that out. If you have any other questions or comments about getting ungated or talking about Nike, or if you want to vent about how you paid such and such $1,000 to get ungated in Nike and they told you the same exact info that I just showed you for free, go ahead and do that down below, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Hustle on, everybody.